Hello everyone, welcome back for another episode of Furious Tinkering with Steve. Today I thought I'd make a video on some of my thoughts on a couple of knives I recently purchased. So up until this point I have typically collected more of like a traditional type pocket knife. This is made by SOG or SOG. Very nice knife. It looks like it is the Spec Elite 1. I don't remember exactly what I paid for this. I bought it several years ago now, but it was probably 150 or more Canadian. But beautiful mechanism on here. It flicks open nice and smooth. It's very sharp, holds an edge really well. And so, yeah, basically I've got lots of knives that are like this one variant or another, and I can certainly make more videos if you guys find these amusing. But anyways, yeah, so what I bought more recently though are some cleaver type folding pocket knives. So the first one I'll show you here is made by Gerber. It's called the Asada. So it kind of has this sort of green textured composite handle material. Pretty interesting little design. It's got a bit of a texture to it, and the steel itself has got I don't know if the right word is like stone wash, but that's kind of what it appears to me. It's not, you know, very shiny or anything like that. It is sort of like a, I don't know what you call it. It almost looks like a galvanized style of texture, but it's actually smooth to the touch. And yeah, it holds an edge pretty good. It didn't come right out of the box really sharp, but I did run it over a whetstone and I was able to get a pretty good edge on there. On the back side there's no composite material, so you got it on one side, and then on the other side of the handle got a pretty robust pocket clip, which I like. I did kind of have to stick a screwdriver in there and open it up a little bit more. Just some of the seams on my pants, it wouldn't fit over the pocket, so yeah, I just had to open that up a little bit. But yeah, nice knife. I like it. Again, this is called the Gerber Asada, A-S-A-D-A. And yeah, so the only thing I think I would say I'm not terribly fond of on this one is that the locking mechanism is, it can be unlocked with one hand, but it's pretty stiff. Like compared to a lot of the locking mechanisms I see on many other knives, this one's pretty tough. Definitely can be done, and you know, just depending, like if you have strong hands, it's, you know, it's going to be okay, and if your hands are maybe not quite as muscular, you may have a bit of a challenge opening and closing that. But I shouldn't say opening that. Opening that is actually pretty easy. Kind of just, there's this little tab on this side. I'll show you again. You kind of just pull back on this, and so again, nice opening mechanism. So yeah, that's knife one. 3 cleavers that I bought. So that's the first one. Second one, also made by Gerber, is called the Flatiron. And so this one is all black. I believe it comes in like a sandstone color as well, but kind of like a composite type overlay from what I can tell. And yeah, nice knife as well. This one has an easier mechanism. It actually just toggles a lot more smoothly than the Asada, but this one is actually a little bit bigger than the previous one. I can show you side by side here for comparison. So Asada on top and Flatiron on the bottom, and then obviously the Flatiron has this sort of finger groove here for opening and closing, but this one opens and closes really easily. The locking mechanism, while it's still kind of stiff, it seems easier to me, I think. So that's what I can say about that. Both of these knives, the Flatiron and the Asada, feature this sort of like half moon shape in the blade profile, and they have a funny name for it. They call it the finger choil, which I've never heard that term before. But yeah, kind of a nice knife. I feel like if you were out camping and you forgot a knife for doing food prep, you could easily chop veggies with this. You could probably chop a steak with it, no problem. So a nice knife. I think that this one was actually less expensive, believe it or not, than the smaller one. So the Asada, I believe, was about maybe $70 or $80, and then this one was, I think, about 60. So, and that was at Cabela's. No sale price. That was just their regular price. So I've been pretty pleased with these. They're actually really fun. This one, I gotta be honest, is like it's a treat to open and close. It just moves smoothly. It moves nicely. And then on the back of it, it has a very similar style of, you know, assembly on the back of the handle. It's got that kind of robust pocket clip again, and I think this piece here is just part of the spring mechanism to engage the locking tab when the blade opens all the way up. But yeah, I can't say anything bad. These are nice knives. They, like I said, they didn't come right out of the package super sharp. They're sharp enough. I mean, you can certainly do most everything with it, but you know, because the steel is decently good quality, I think this one, it says on the package that it's 7 chromium steel. So if that means something in particular to anybody out there with like a metallurgy background, please feel free to drop that in the comments and educate the rest of us. Whereas the Asada knife, this one here, shows on its package that it has D2 steel. So again, I'm maybe more familiar with like a 440 carbon or whatever, that sort of designation. So these D2 and 7 chromium, they don't mean a whole lot to me. I haven't looked at it or Googled it, but I'm sure there's information online. If you're interested, you can look it up. And then the final one, which I purchased, is made by Buck. So Buck is a good, like, sort of economy brand that I've found. I've got a few knives made by them. Some of the older ones are, I would say, you know, they're a bit more classic. They're probably better quality. Nowadays things are just mass produced, but this one here has a composite handle on it. It's got the company logo engraved right there. The pocket clip, to me, just, you know, certainly do the trick, but more conventional as opposed to some of these other Gerber knives, which have more of like a newly designed style. But yeah, you know what, this has been a good little utility knife. I've had this, I've carried it for a few months, and you know, it just, I don't know, they call it an everyday carry, and for good reason, right? I mean, you carry it with you, and before you know it, you're whipping it out 5-10 times a day to open a box or cut this or do something little thing. And yeah, so it's just been a good utility knife. And I think the price point on this one was the lowest of the 3 cleaver knives that I bought. So like I said, the Gerber Asada was about 80, I think, 80 or 90. The Gerber Flatiron was probably 65 maybe, and then this one I think was like between 40 and 50. So the price kind of drops on each one, but yeah, I was kind of interested. When I saw the first one, I thought, you know, I might go for it just because, like I said, I have many that are more of like a traditional pocket knife blade profile. Yeah, and then there was actually one other one which I was kind of looking at buying instead, and it was made by Columbia River Knife and Tool, and that one was it had a funny name. What the hell was it now? If I remember, I'll put it in the comments. But yeah, Columbia River Knife and Tool, they have a cleaver style knife as well, and that had probably the nicest motion when you're opening it and closing it of all the bunch. But again, the price point would reflect that too. It was just, they're probably a higher end brand than any of the other ones I mentioned. But yeah, so that's what I can say. They're nice knives. I think any one of them would be a good companion for camping or doing some food prep if you're kind of forgot some of your more traditional kitchen tools. But anyways, yeah, so that's what I can say. If any questions, comments, feel free to drop it in the comment section. And yeah, I appreciate every one of you who have subscribed to the channel and left comments. I appreciate all that. So if anybody feels so inclined to subscribe or like or watch, it means a lot to me. So thanks again. Enjoy your night. See ya.